From our studios in Boston, Massachusetts, I'm Jerry DeViller. Debbie Catalano with Catalano Creative is alongside. We want to welcome our listeners from the United States and around the world. It's another Sunday podcast. And hello, Debbie.
Hello, Jerry.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I am better than I deserve. Thank you. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Here we are in the middle of spring. The weather has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I had 90 degrees the other day.
Oh, really?
It was
I knew it was warm, but I didn't think it was 90.
91 degrees.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm liking it. Hockey playoffs, warm weather.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm liking this stuff. So, how are you? You good?
Yes, I'm better. I was sick for a while, but I'm better now. Yeah.
Anything exciting going on in your life?
Not really.
Same old, right?
Same old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We talked real quick about our last episode with Josh Mills and the podcasters supporting podcasters series. What a response we're getting to his podcast, telling us those great stories about all of the different celebrities that he has met, and having Halloween with Groucho Marx and Christmas with Walter Matthau, and it's like, it's just, he's such a great guy, and he sent us a gift pack, which is like awesome. We should be sending our guests gift packs, and the guests are sending them to us. What's wrong with this?
One of these days we'll get merch. Yeah.
We gotta get our Five Timers Club merch ready.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
On that. Speaking of guests, we have got a great guest with us tonight, and I am excited, and thank you for the lead here. And
oh yeah, excited too.
This is going to be a lot of fun. So why don't we jump right into it? I'll tell you a little bit about our guest. His name is Tierre Diaz. He is an American actor and a musician. He was born in Worcester, Massachusetts. He writes and performs music along with comedy, sketch, stand-up, and improv. Studied at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in New York City. Then took his teachings and began performing all around the country. He's toured with improv comedy groups, theater company, Dialogue Night Diversity, where he put on live shows for colleges, businesses, and theaters. As an actor, his hip-hop background caught the eyes of Nickelodeon, got him a show in New York City doing hip-hop improv with Wayne Brady, and his lead role as the protagonist in the film Jamal, and I hope I said that right, where he plays a rap-battling bully. He has got a new album that is out called Maniflex. We're going to talk about all of these things right now. So I'm going to shut up and welcome Tierre Diaz. Tierre, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, nice to be here. Thank you.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you?
It's cool. It's cool to hear my bio back like that. I was like, oh yeah, I did do that cool thing. I was like, oh yeah.
Didn't realize.
It was really cool.
Didn't realize you did all that stuff.
It's just cool to hear it. I'm so grateful. Because a lot of things you never plan on doing a show with Wayne Brady. You know what I mean? It's just like not in your to-do list, or you know what I mean? So hearing that back is kind of cool. And the fact that I, toured talking to colleges, you know what I mean, is still wild to me. Yeah. So a lot of that is still pretty crazy.
And it's an amazing bio and an amazing resume. I think I was telling you before we started recording that just doing the research on this, like I didn't even know where to begin, and I want to touch it all. And so we're going to kind of probably bounce around. So apologies to the audience if we kind of do that, but we're going to. There's just so much to talk about.
Yeah, it's tough, especially like trying to I don't know, keep up with social media because I'm into so much. So like I feel like if you're a new fan of mine and you go on my social media, it's just like a cluster. You know what I mean? Like a clustered mess of just everything I'm doing, and it's like not consistent with anything. And it could be a little much, but it's what I love. It's my passions, and
Jack of all trades.
Yeah,
master of
yeah.
all, right?
Yeah, and it's like you have two identities too, and you probably have two different sets of audience because you have it as
Hmm.
a rap performer, and then as an actor. So it's like two different sort of paths at once. Did they start at the same time, or was there one that you began before the other?
Yeah, I would definitely say music. I was doing music before acting.
Hmm.
I always wanted, so like since a kid, I've always only wanted to do music and acting. Those were my loves. That's my dream forever. And that's what I pursued. I never knew, I always knew I was going to do those things. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it was just a matter of getting there. But I would say hip hop got to me first because I got a mic and while living, just growing up, middle school, elementary, I started writing in elementary, started recording on answering machines and tape recorders, anything I can get my hands on just to make what I make music, quote unquote music at the time. And through high school, started battle rapping and I guess releasing music online was kind of evolving at that time. So I learned how to record myself and put out music on MySpace and eventually YouTube. And so I kind of spent a lot of my energy and time to music and to build my name out locally because I've seen people doing it in my city of Worcester who are like doing shows and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I want to do shows. You know what I mean? I want to do shows too. I want to be known. I want to be I guess respected as an artist in my city as well. So I kind of just started from the bottom, made my name for myself, and it kind of took off from there. And I guess I spent a lot of my time and effort doing music. Mu Then I had to learn how to do my own music videos, and that's where, so all the little jacks, all the little I guess jacks of all trades really comes to two things out of necessity, essentially. I didn't plan on being a director, making my own music videos, but I had to because I wanted my music videos out, and I didn't have the money for other people to shoot them or the resources even. And same thing with, recording myself. I ended up running a studio back in the day because I got so good at recording myself and mixing and mastering and engineering, producing music. That was another, revenue stream. But I would say from high school to about my early 20s was all music. And it wasn't until I got my first audition or my first background role is when I realized that acting was a possibility as well.
Do you
Wow.
remember? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Debbie.
No, what were you gonna say, Jerry? Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, do you remember your first live performance in music in front of an audience? What was that like, and how old were you then?
Do I got it I got the opportunity because a friend named Prophet. It was back in MySpace days. I was probably in high school. I want to say maybe it was 2007 or something like that. Um, and it was on Park Ave in Worcester. Forgot the name. It was like some weird ass bar. It was a bar. But I remember it because I still have pictures from that day and like staged performance pictures because like there's like the performance and we weren't performing yet, but I saw like the quote unquote stage, which was just a corner of the bar, right? Just a corner of the floor. There was no real stage, but I was like, yo, take this picture of me real quick with the mic. So I pretended like I was performing. And that's pretty much why I remember it. And I remember that a local artist was there at the time as well. And he kind of knew me through my family because my family was doing music at the time too. They were doing music before I was. So he knew me. So when it time for my performance, he was there. So I got to rap for like a respected artist in my first show, and he gave me some good praise, and it was cool. I do remember it though, and I wish I knew the name of the bar. It is still there, it's just under a different name, but it's right on Park Ave, across the street from the KFC Taco Bell.
Did you say that person who gave you an opportunity was his name was Prophet?
Yes, Brian Prophet.
Because I feel like
That
I was he is he a rap performer?
he's a rap performer. He's passed. He's passed away.
Oh, okay. Okay.
A
I
while ago. Yeah, but I think he just hit me up on MySpace and said, "Do you want to do the show?" And he's in the background of that picture. Um, of the little stage rap picture with me and the mic, my first show. He's in the background, like playing my CD or something, like giving peace. So shout outs to
Oh, that's
Prophet for
cool.
giving me. yeah, for giving me my first
I feel like
opportunity to
I
perform.
may know him, but I don't know. I'll have to look it up because
Got you.
I was an editor in music magazine. I did a lot of bios and whatnot. So, and that sounds really familiar to me. But in any case, I was just going to say how impressed I was, how ambitious you are. You sound like somebody who, when you want to do something, you make it happen. You just sort of, from a young age. So that's really cool. That's a spirit I admire.
I would
And I
say, yeah, I would say that's my main message and my main, what I want everyone to get from me is just like, if you want to go for it, if you want to get it, if you want to go for it, because there's no really use to settling for anything else. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? There's no point. There's no benefit from it. So just go for it. It's fun. Trust me.
Yeah.
and without revealing your age, you're doing so much at a very young age, and I think that's awesome. Again, how you manage to carve out about an hour for us is awesome and appreciated very much. I know our audience is going to really enjoy this, and we'll have links for all of your um, videos and social media in the description of the podcast here, so people can be introduced to you or reintroduced, whatever it may be. Um, Man, it's just so many. I was just reading a stat that you have over 1 million video views on your social media right now. That's just incredible.
Oh yeah. I gotta say, um, so I did this thing called cat raps. For app. So there was an app coming out that was kind of trying to be like up and coming TikTok, but they needed content. They needed exclusive content. So I made this thing called Cat Raps, in which I made 1 minute music videos, rap music videos, starring my cat, Jeter. And those alone got over like 3 million views. Oh, I got a
Wow.
picture of him. I know this is an audio medium, but I
Yeah,
got a
yeah. Let's
picture.
see. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Love it. Love it.
And he's probably I think he's in the bedroom now, but I love him so much. I've had cats all my life and I love them like with all my heart. So when they needed content, I just went to like, oh, like I just thought of the idea and did it. And he kind of went viral for a little bit and yeah, I'm so proud. So those alone got like over 3 million views.
yeah,
Wow.
it's a wonderful music video series from the perspective of a cat, right? Your cat.
Yes.
Um, how did the audience respond to that? Obviously, well, if there's 1 million views, right? And people are still watching this, I assume.
Yeah, it was really positive. And I remember my mom's a nurse, and I remember her showing that to like her coworkers and even patients. And I remember that her telling me that it made their patients' day and it made them light up if they were having a bad day in the bed or whatever. It would make them smile and stuff like that. So she used that, used cat wraps for a
Oh.
little bit. And she was a big fan. We had cat wraps merchandise for a little bit, and she would always rock it. And it would be a conversation starter, like what the heck is cat raps, and then she would tell people what it was. But it was just a nice thing that I was able to leave in the world for a little bit, like a little fun, solid. And it's my cat who I adore. So I'm so glad that the person who brings me so much joy can bring joy to others as well.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I love that story about your mom as a nurse spreading that joy with do you still have the cat wraps merch, by the way?
It's yeah, it's online. And I know Heather has some, my partner Heather, and I know my mom has some. But it's I think it's made to order, but it's
I
still
think I
around.
was joking with Jerry because my last name is Catalano. So I was like, oh, I think I need to get some that says cat wraps because it goes with my name. So,
There you go.
Yeah,
but no, that's
it's in
cool.
my website. It's in my
Yeah,
website.
yeah,
You can't miss it.
I'll get it. No, that's really cool. On that track of doing good with your talent, I I I got really caught up with you did a with your new recording, Maniflex. You did a video on social media right before it dropped where you talked about the message, how much it meant to you, and the message behind it. It has a positive message, and I don't think I've ever done this to anybody. I probably played that back about 4 or 5 times. Like I watched it again and then I told Jerry about it, and then I watched it again because I was really affected by how you came across about it. And I would love if you would, if you want to talk a little bit about, you know, about that message that comes through in your songs in that, and maybe that album in particular, because it seemed like it really meant a lot to you. And because it affected me, that tells me just the way you put that across is, uh, powerful.
Yeah, the video you're talking about was originally like 8, 9 minutes long, and I had to trim it down to make it social media bite size, right? But I had to convey that message because I thought it was important that it's not just a rap album. It's not just, hey, listen to my music because it's good. It's this music can inspire, this music can uplift, and this music's whole intention is to show you it's possible to do what you love and to reach big and to succeed in that. So what I'm my main message, so the album is called Maniflex, which is a play on words of manifest, manifestation, right? So
Hmm.
each one of my albums have themes that I kind of stay with throughout the whole record. So this album is strictly about manifestation and positive vibes and affirmations and stuff like that throughout the whole record. If you're singing along to the lyrics, you're more than likely singing along to positive affirmations, positive uplifting lyrics, right? And what I'm doing on the record, I'm not only telling you how to do it, how to achieve and how to go for it, what's the right avenue to take to do these things. I'm actually showing you what I'm saying works with the people I have on the record. Because the
Hmm.
people I have on the record are some of my heroes that I adored and followed all my life. So like Royce the 5'9", who is right hands with my favorite rapper, Eminem, who I adore, and I just is a big fan of Royce. He's a Grammy nominated artist. He's on the record. We have a music video together. Same thing with DMX, and same thing with Insane Clown Posse. These are people I grew up listening to that I have on the record that while you're listening to it and I'm telling you, it's also like, hey, look who's on my record. What I'm telling you works. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the
Hmm.
main message. And I want people to really, I just want to raise their vibrations, raise their energy levels every time you hear it, because I think that is very important. That's a very important step. And I think my album helps with that.
Yeah, I found that was very interesting, and super impressive to have an artist like Royce or then Posse, excuse me. Uh, how did that collaboration come about? I mean, how did you meet these guys, and what was sort of the creative process behind that?
So I knew Insane Clown Posse. I met Insane Clown Posse in I think 2021. I linked up with one half of them, Violent J, kind of connected and we hit it off. I sent him my music and he really dug it. He really, was impressed with what he heard and I inquired about a song and the rest is history from there because it essentially was like, all right, let's come to my studio and let's record a song. And that just happened. That just opened a floodgate of opportunities and bucket list events that I could never even fathom to because the song was enough. Like I thought the song was enough. The song was a dream come true. I'm super excited. But fast forward all these years later, I'm on their record. He thanks me and his thank yous of their album. I'm doing their festivals every year. It's just so many things that I couldn't even fathom came from that interaction, essentially and from that relationship built. So now have a strong relationship with both men, Violent J and Shaggy Two Dope. And with that relationship, I go out to Detroit constantly, a couple times every year to work with them, to work with, DJ Clay or whatever. I consider Detroit a second home at this point. And Royce the 5'9" is also from Detroit. So being in Detroit so much, I kind of just reached out to his people. I wanted him on the record, and it took a long time, took a couple months for everything to configure. But at the end of the day, he ended up agreeing to it. And what I wanted to do with Royce was I wanted a very specific sound from Royce because Royce has grown and matured so much as an artist, as a lyricist, that he's more of a conscious rapper now. He's more of like I said, Grammy nominated, getting all these accolades. What I wanted from Royce, I wanted him to turn back the clock a little bit and turn into that Royce that I grew up listening to, right? So that's kind of the creative inspiration that I got from our song because I went by alias as well back in my early rap days. So we can kind of both turn back the clock. And that's kind of the creative vision I wanted with the Royce song.
Yeah,
Mhm.
in the song that you did with him, "Bad Meets Killer," you explored the themes of identity, resilience. So, what's the message that you hope that the listeners are taking away from this track?
Yeah. So one of the key lines is be careful what you ask for. But essentially, it's when you grow and adapt and mature as an artist, your themes change, your goals change, your message changes, to maybe a more positive or inspiring or something, and you get away from your early songs, your early message, right? You grow and adapt and things change and people are like, man, I like the old music from you. You know what I mean? I like Killer T. I like when you were doing Bad Meets Killer. Royce, get back to that. I don't care about this new conscious rap, right? So the message there was we could do that and we still have it because what we're portraying on the song with the hard hitting beat is we still have that in us. We can do it easily, but you're really not doing nothing with your artistry if you're not progressing and going forward. So Bad Meets
Yes.
Killer is kind of our alter egos meeting. It's like, yeah, we still got it, but we're past it, and we appreciate that you love it. But we're on to the next level. So that's kind
I,
of what we're doing there.
I think it's a great
Mm.
song. I think it's a great song.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I actually loved all the tracks on it. Uh, they're all different, but they all have that consistent message that you're talking about. And you just used the term conscious rap. Is that something? So for people, I mean, I don't know if that's like a term that's usually used or if that's just something that you were calling it. But I love that because I do think for people who aren't familiar with the genre, I think there are those who may automatically have a negative connotation, not realize, first of all, just these positive messages that can come out of it, how it's not pigeonholed into one, um, I don't know, one line of thinking or what have you. And it's like really like rap to me. It's like I'm somebody who's really into like poetry and just what you're doing with words is very cool. So is conscious rap something that is just a known term, or is that just something you just called it?
Oh yeah, conscious rap is definitely a known term. It's for the people you talk about. It's for the the artists and the MCs that you're referring to that have a message and that it kind of is doing more than whatever's catching on the radio. That when they speak, they're speaking directly to the listener and have a goal intended. You know what I mean? So Kendrick Lamar would be considered he's a pop he's pop right now. He's very popular. He's very in the echelon, but he started out and he continues to be a conscious rapper.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
he's transformed to a conscious rapper. And I would say, Common, stuff like that. Conscious rapper are the MCs of the world.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. That's great. I mean, I'm somebody who's just into all kinds of music, but I love learning and exploring more. So that's very cool. Thank you for, kind of going
Yeah,
more
I
into that.
think, and just to play off that, one of the questions or one of the comments I had was rap for some folks seem to get a bad rap, if you'll pardon that pun there. But I think what this does here is it showed exactly what you're talking about and the positive messages and things. So it's not it had that it doesn't have that negative kind of connection that people think it has and stuff. So I think this is just it's a wonderful album. I haven't had a chance to listen to everything that you have done, but this one I have gone through most of it, and it's amazing. And it's out of my. I'm a Bruce Springsteen fan, right? I'm a Jersey rock kind of guy, and this just kind of blew me away. It's like, whoa, okay, so I'm a new fan.
It's like mind
Awesome.
expanding. Like that's what I love about it. Like I love like knowing that to go back to your social media video, which I've never, like, I think everybody should watch that. Like, I scrolled through to listen to it again and then listen to your music once it was released because I needed to make that connection. So, you know, great job with that. Just kind of getting through to people that way.
That's amazing. Yeah, I was just with my mom, I want to say yesterday, and she mentioned the video too, because yeah, I didn't know. I knew I needed to do it. I knew I needed to convey that. I just didn't know how it would affect people. I thought it would be like just, just a reminder, like, hey, I got this out, but I wanted to, convey the fact, I wanted more people to listen to it. I thought that would help, the people that were kind of like just aware of it, but then like, okay, you got an album, I'll listen to it when I get to listen to it. But I feel like if you knew why I was dropping it, it's more of the why, more
Yes.
than the fact that I'm doing it.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
probably what it is. It was the why, and it made me want to listen to it. And it made me, it showed me how much it meant to you, how much you cared. You weren't. It wasn't like a phony like oh hey I got this out, check it out. It was more
right.
than that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Sticking sort of with music, I also read that you created entrance music for a pro wrestler.
Oh
I think that
yeah.
Flip Gordon, was it? Flip.
Yeah, Flip Gordon. I got him right in front of me. I know it's like kind of just like my wall of kind of accomplishments, but this is a Flip his signed autographed action figure that I have on the wall because
Oh,
that is an achievement of mine. I'm a big wrestling fan. Wrestling's on right behind me. We're recording this on a Monday. So I'm a big wrestling fan. So just consciously, and I know I just always wanted to make wrestling music or just be a part of it, while being a fan. And I met Flip Gordon on a movie set. He was doing background just like I was. He was not a thing yet. He was still training, and he kind of brought up the fact that, hey, I want to be a wrestler. And I was like, I love wrestling, dude. And he thought I was like kind of making fun of him. I was like, no, dude, I seriously love wrestling, like for real.
I grew
And
up with, yeah, I grew up with the
yeah, I was like,
WWE way back
oh
when.
wow,
And so I'm that old, yes. So I go back to Bruno Sammartino and Bob
hmm
Backlund and those guys. It's so much different today. And I think I just read or saw a video. You were at the last WrestleMania in Vegas. That must have
yes,
been
I
super
was.
exciting.
So yeah, I went to back WrestleManias. That was my fourth WrestleMania.
Wow.
And going back to Maniflex and manifestations, I severely manifest my WrestleMania experiences because I was just watching at home all my life, not even thinking that I would go to one. And then one year, that's kind of when I learned about meditation and manifestation and visualization and the law of attraction and stuff like that, right? So once learned that tool and once I was actually implementing it, it just so happened to be in New Jersey one year. And I was like, I'm going to that. And I spent my time and energy just visualizing me there and not knowing how, not having the money to do so, just knowing I was gonna go. And all the cards and all of the stars aligned in which I ended up there for like next to no money with amazing seats at my first WrestleMania, long story short. Like all the cards had aligned perfectly. I was actually shooting a TV role and I had an improv show in between WrestleMania in New York. So I ended up being in town when WrestleMania happened.
Talk about the
And
wow.
stars aligning.
when people would ask me if I was going to WrestleMania, I would say yes, and I meant it, and I wasn't lying. I wasn't. To me, I wasn't lying. I just knew I was gonna go, and every night I would just visualize it, write it down in my notebook with the rest of my goals and dreams and stuff like that. And ever since then, kept using that tool, and now I'm on my fourth one, and it's always an amazing, amazing blessing.
That's
Yes.
incredible. Do you ever sleep?
I sleep when a lot of people are. I'm up when a lot of people are asleep, and I'm asleep when people are starting their
Yes.
days. I sleep
Hmm.
in.
Yeah.
I sleep in, and I
Good.
nap. So if I'm up early, I'm napping later with my cat. 10 times out of 10. If
Just
because sometimes I just wake up and can't go out to sleep. So I just know, oh, I'm sleeping later in like the middle of the day. But I'm up. I'm up at like 4 or 5 a.m. That's my
oof.
bedtime every time.
That's
No doubt
actually
about it.
not uncommon for somebody, being in this field or anybody creative. I do my best work late night. I can't. I'm a writer. I can't write in the morning. Nope, too
Right.
foggy. So it's like later in the day. So I'm definitely there with you with that. Not as late as your hours, but I get it. Um, I'd like to also talk about your acting. I watched your reel on IMDb, and you had a really cool range there. And so I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I love acting. Definitely, like I said, top two goals of mine. I'm so honored every time I get to, do it in any capacity. And as far as the range goes, I pride myself on that. I've been booking roles that, I would definitely see. I'm booking roles now that I remember watching on TV or watching and being like, I wonder if I can do that role because now I'm booking serious roles now. And I'm more of a comedy guy. I pride myself on my comedic abilities to tell stories and my, facial expressions and stuff like that, and comedic timing from my UCB training and just natural love of comedy growing up on Jim Carrey and stuff like that. And now, booking these lead roles as like, dramatic leads, it's showing that, I can do it, so I know I have to no longer have to watch a role and be like, I wonder if I was like, oh, I can, then I've done that before. So acting is definitely one of my loves for sure.
you had mentioned in the past that your favorite show of all time was Dexter, and you actually appeared in multiple episodes of that show. So, as a fan of the original series, what was it like to be part of that when you landed those roles?
So here we go. I'm looking at my news article right now, my wall of accomplishments. Scoring Dexter role was a dream come true for Worcester actor Tierre Diaz, right there in front of me. So it was. So here's how it goes. Love Dexter. Watched it when it was on. I remember my cousin coming over every week because I had Showtime. He didn't, to watch Dexter. Big fan. When it ended. Cool. Never thought I'd see Dexter again, right? Um, then it announced it was coming back. As a fan, static. I have the status, I can just type in the word Dexter, and I wrote, Dexter is coming back. No one is more excited than I am. Enter. That's an actual status that I wrote as a fan. And then it was announced that it is filming in New England. And my energy, my thought process changed from fan to I'm gonna be on that show. Period. And I'm an actor at this point, and people know that whatever's shooting around here, I'm usually, some in it in some capacity. So people start asking me, and family starts asking me, "Hey, are you in Dexter?" And I kind of did the same thing I did with WrestleMania. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be in Dexter. Yep, I'm in Dexter. I'm in Dexter." Believing it wholeheartedly, knowing that it's gonna happen. And I still remember the day that I got the booking email, like, "Hey, I need you for all of these dates." And it was from like maybe April to August, like a crap load of dates, man. And it was under the code name Marble. All right. So when I submitted for the role, it was under Marble. It wasn't under Dexter, right? So I submitted for Marble and I got the booking email. I was like, yes, I didn't know what show that was. I was like, yeah, let's go. I wanna be on Marble, whatever that is. And I called my partner, Heather. I was like, hey, I got this I just booked this role. It's for so many dates. I'm just excited. I don't know what Marble is. So she did some research. She was like, I don't know, it's a Showtime show. I don't know. And then she found this article where it was like shooting under the code name Marble, Dexter New Blood. And then I look up while I'm on the phone to my Dexter poster on the wall and I just started crying. I was like, oh my
Wow.
God, it happened. And all that's amazing. But what's even better is that my experience on set was the best experience I've ever had. So the fact that I've landed a dream show, a dream gig, the people I met on that show, the experience and how they treated us, it was the best time of my life, I would say. I would say, yeah, it was amazing. So like not only was being on there a dream come true, uh my experience on there was exceeding every expectation. I made friends for life there and I made memories for life there. It was just ecstatic.
Wow, that's
And
wonderful.
I'm drink
Actually,
and, I,
that's
and I'm drinking out of my Dexter cup right now that I got from the set.
I love. I wish everybody could see all your props
we
in
may
this
have
video.
to we are recording this
Yeah.
video
Yeah, yeah.
at Tier's request, and I'm there is a YouTube channel for this podcast, Debbie, that
Oh,
you
there we
probably never
go.
knew,
I did
but
not know.
and we haven't
Yeah,
posted anything in years, if ever. This may end up on there because
this may be the one.
there's um, so many props and things that he's showing us here
Oh
that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
and
the
it's
audience would
all
love.
it's all in reach.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
The
all in reach
visuals.
right now.
No, I love it.
Surrounded by that. We
But
were talking.
that story actually gave me chills when you said you looked up at that. You know, that's I love it.
Can't make this up, man. I can't make it up. I still have the poster. It's a skinny poster too, so it's not like a big obnoxious one, but I still have that poster. Like I'll always remember. And that was like the first that I booked the role of Dexter the same week I linked up with Insane Clown Posse for the first time. Like it all happened
Wow.
in 1 week. And I was really channeling all of my energy in time, it was just I can't explain it.
Incredible. We're talking to Tierre Diaz. He's an American actor, musician. He just has a new album out called Maniflex, and we're talking to him about that, and we're talking to him about his acting career, and all of this information will be in the show notes of this episode. So please check it out, and you can listen to his new album pretty much anywhere you can stream music, I assume. And it's just it's a wonderful album. Um, you played a character in Bounties for Cameron,
Yes.
and it showcased your dramatic range. How do you prepare for a role that requires such a deep emotional connection? Being a comedian and improv and that, how do you go from that to that?
It's a great question. I guess it depends on the role. For Bound East for Cameron, I'm lucky because it was we're in woods, it's dirty, it's cold. I could kind of just sit there, close my eyes, and just imagine what it would be like to be in Vietnam at that time. So I was lucky. I was lucky enough that I wasn't I wasn't in like a heated trailer or something like that, and I had to get in the character really quick. It was a really small crew, DIY type of deal, indie short film. So, you know, we're in the middle of the woods, can kind of just sit there and just use my imagination and kind of get in the character and know what they're going through because I know the script, I know what's going on, and kind of just be that, adapt that to the best of my ability and just try to portray it.
I would imagine that acting is similar, even though I feel just from talking with you that your music is a lot of your own personal identity and everything about you. But there are, but when you act, you know, you get into a character. Is it often that anything intersects? Like, have you ever done a role that maybe inspired your writing for a song?
Um, I don't think so. But when I was on Dexter, hold on, I think my fridge is making noise. All right. When I was on Dexter, I did write the song Prime, which is on the album Maniflex. Um, and I was inspired to write it because, like I said, the just everything was going right. Everything was going right, and I just felt so inspired to share this. It was like a triumph anthem. The song Prime, and it was just so
Hmm.
positive, and I just felt it. I felt really, like, hey, I want to share this with people really quick. So I
Yeah.
wrote it. I wrote the song right on set, right in holding in my costume, in my Letterman jacket that I wore on the show. And fast forward, I end up shooting a music video to it. And I go back to all the shooting locations that I remember from the show. And in the music video, You see me in the show of Dexter New Blood. You fast forward to me, rapping the song to you. And I remember opening up for Redman and Method Man, and I debuted that song, and I busted out the Letterman jacket, and I told people what I'm telling you now, like, hey, I wrote this song on Dexter, and I'm here to tell you, if you vibe right, your energy's right, you surround yourself with, loving and positive light around you, you could do whatever the hell you want. Here I am on stage, Worcester Palladium, somewhere I dreamed to perform all my life. It's possible. And then boom, Prime starts. So I would say not necessarily the role, just the situation inspired that
Mm.
song for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like that's the perfect answer. I would say that falls right into it.
You mentioned at the beginning you had the opportunity to work with Wayne Brady on a hip hop improv show in New York. Did that collaboration influence your approach to blending music and comedy at all? Did that have any kind of effect on your
No,
work?
I've always done that. That's always something I've always wanted to do. And I would say my rap skills booked me acting gigs. And you mentioned the role of Jamal when I played the rap acting bully. I remember that audition. And I remember there being a line. It was an open casting call. So this means anyone can show up to this casting call. And I remember it being one of the longest lines I've ever seen at an audition. It was just incredible. And I remember it was so bad to a point that I had to audition people like at like four at a time or something like that. You know what I mean? Like in groups. And I remember during the audition process, we did our lines and then we all had a rank. And that was it. That was it for you. Bye guys. Like once I rap, you know what I mean? I'm a real rapper. So so they had me rapping with other actors or rappers that aren't necessarily as good as me. So I would say I booked that role kind of because of my rapping skills, right? And the same thing with the Nickelodeon audition that was presented to me through a person I met at Upright Citizens Brigade that needed a new Ninja Turtle rap song or something like that. So my rapping ability has gotten me, opportunities in acting I wouldn't have had otherwise. And other than that, I've always tried to incorporate it in like my music visuals, comedy, do a lot of like funny, rap videos as well. I always try to incorporate the two. And with the Wayne Brady thing, that was just, right in my pocket, right in my wheelhouse. And I remember going to that show as a fan, the show that ended up being on Wayne Brady was, and I ended up like being one of those volunteers from the crowd, and that set me up as for like a future guest. And one of those future guest appearances was with Wayne Brady. So it all happens like that, just putting yourself out there. Like I'm sitting here in the audience watching the show. Any fans want to get up stage and do it? There you go. Come up.
Uh, yeah,
And
that's
at
right.
the host, and the host after we met at the bar, and he was like, "Hey, you want to do this sometime?" I'm like, "Yep." And I've done it multiple times since, but that's been probably one of the biggest.
I have one more question around the acting. And I want to get into some personal stuff after Debbie might have some question for you as well. You played in the role Red Hooded Gas Mask Purger, right? In the Purge election year, and it became iconic. What was that like portraying such a memorable character, especially considering the limited screen time?
Dude, thank you for saying that because I remember me doing that and kind of like not making a big deal out of it at all. Like I was like, I did it. It was awesome. But like when the movie came out, I didn't even like make a post about it or anything like that. I kind of just told people I did it and just did it. And I remember all right, I got a poster right in front of me of the gas mask per like a theatrical one. So this one's a big one. In my living room right now, I'm looking right at it. And I remember taking that picture on set. Yeah, I think we shot in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. And the photographer being like, "Oh my God." Like and like popping at the picture, like, "Oh yes, yes." And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, in the mask. But I remember like just not thinking it was a big deal at all until the day it came out. It's everywhere. The dude is everywhere. I did not know they were gonna really run with that character like that. It's on the cover, it's on the cover of IGN. They ran with it so tough. And that's when I was like, oh, I can brag a little bit about this. And took found the pictures, went back on my phone, found the pictures from set. I'm like, hey, that's me right there. Here's me out the mask and the costume, so you know it's real. And then here's me in the mask. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I did not think that was a big deal until they made it a big deal. That was
you
crazy.
never
It's
you
cool.
never know, right? You never know, folks. Again, it's a red hooded gas mask purger. Check it out. It's within the purge election year. It's as I said, it's iconic.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that too, Jerry, because when I was doing all my research on Tierre, I thought that was like a really cool story. So it's great hearing you kind of give a little bit of the behind the scenes of it.
Instead of turning my camera around, I'll just like take a picture of it and show you what I'm looking at. That's the
Oh
poster.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
wow,
That's
wow, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it.
incredible, incredible. Yeah, you just never know. You
Mm-hmm.
never know.
Right, right.
Some switching off to some personal things and talking about the future. You've been involved in advocacy and diversity and representation in Hollywood, right? Can you share some initiatives or projects that you're passionate about in that area?
I just like any opportunity I can to do anything. So Dialogues on Diversity, I think it's now being renamed American Dialogue Theater or something like that. I think it's been renamed, but it has the same mission. I just think it's a great opportunity when I can do anything to represent us and to make a change. And that whole working with them, and I think I'm also in part of, I say I think because we haven't met yet, but I think I'm a part of the SAG-AFTRA Latino committee, Latin American committee. And I think our first meeting's on Wednesday. I insert myself in these positions because I think it's cool, because I'm out here just living my dreams, doing what I can, representing us to the best of my ability, but I'm not out here seeking these opportunities. But when they present themselves, I insert myself immediately into them. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, let's do it.
That's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
Looking ahead, do you have any like goals or projects that you're excited about pursuing in the next few years?
Yeah, yeah, like I said, I have a whole notebook in which I wrote down all of my wants, all of my dreams, everything I want to accomplish in life, and I still add to it. And in that notebook, I also write down the things I'm grateful for so that I practice gratitude and accomplishments all in the same thing. So with everything I add to the list, I also add to the list something I'm grateful for and stuff like that. And I'm checking them off. In my wallpaper is a vision board. This
Mm.
is a straight up vision board of collabs and situations I want to be in. And there's still a lot to obtain, and I'm excited to accomplish them. And I'm excited for the journey to accomplish them. There's so many things, and more than not, there's a check lot. There's a little checklist next to that list. In that list of when when I sat down and wrote everything I wanted, more and more, there's more checklists coming. And as I add to it, it's just awesome to go for them, and it's awesome to have something to look forward to. I always find myself happiest when I have something to look forward to.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. It's so funny because as I've been talking to you tonight, this one word kept going through my head about you, which is gratitude. And here you are talking about that because you've accomplished so much and you continue to. And even when you're sharing your accomplishments, it comes through with a tone of being humble about it, humble and appreciative. And I think that's a such a really important message to get out, even for youth. And I don't know, have you had any opportunity to talk to younger people? Because I think you'd be perfect to kind of get into their mindset.
I have. Like I said, that's not something I go out to do, but there's been situations in which had opportunity to talk. I think my friend Rachel, um, it was at a library. It was via Zoom, but she taught a class, and she asked if I wanted to speak to the kids, and I did. And I told them everything I'm telling you guys now, positive thinking, writing down your goals, the things that I've accomplished, stuff like that. So that was an opportunity that actually happened. And even when, touring with Dialogues on Diversity, we do a thing called Get Out of Your Bubble. And that's a one-man show. I'm on stage by myself. And then after, I have some free time to just, talk to some freshmen or whatever, freshmen to sophomores in college. And I get to, spit game to them real quick. But the thing with Rachel in her class a couple years back, that was a really cool opportunity.
Oh, that's great. I think you're perfect for that. Hopefully there'll be, I'm sure, not hopefully, there'll be more opportunities like that will present themselves. Because I think that young people do need to hear from someone like you, and you have a way to connect with them and get through to them. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, very positive attitude. There's certainly no ego. Debbie said humble. It's
Hmm.
all there. It's not something. Again, the stereotype of rap and all of that. I think it just gets that bad rap that the whole gangsta thing and whatever. And it's just and that's certainly not what are about. It's you're an incredibly positive person and an inspiration. I look forward to following you. I'm a new fan. I'm a new follower on your social
Awesome.
media. The one beautiful thing about doing this podcast is we meet some wonderful people and some great guests, and you are certainly up there and on that list. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Um,
Yeah.
I I have just two questions left. They're kind of fun questions, but on your wallpaper there with all your various your board there. Are the pyramids there? Because I think I read that
Yes,
you want to go you want to go see the pyramids in
they are
Egypt.
there. I really, really, really want to go to Egypt and see the pyramids.
You're
Yes,
going to. Well, we already know it's going to happen.
I know I
Exactly.
am.
Yeah.
I'm really excited though.
Yes.
You'll be doing
See
a
what
movie
I lit up.
or
It's not hope. All right. It's not hope. It's not like wishing.
Hmm.
No, I know I am. I'm very excited for that to happen.
Yes.
Yeah. It's right there. Good eye, man. Yeah, I definitely want to go. It's the top destination for me for
you
sure.
make a movie or a music video at the pyramids. That'll
See,
be
like something like that would happen. Like
yeah.
literally, that's how my life has been. It's just like puzzle pieces, and like I end up being in a situation that's like more than I can even fathom. You know what I mean? But like something like that would happen
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And my very last question for you today is if you could collaborate with any artist, living or deceased, who would it
Oh,
be
okay.
and why?
So deceased Michael Jackson, and then living Eminem. So Eminem, because he's my favorite rapper of all time, to he kind of taught me to be yourself, to be vulnerable, but to never slack on the penmanship and the lyricism of it, because he at the end of the day is an extremely elite lyricist, even with his popularity, even with his pop hits, even with his controversy. He always strive to be the best MC he can be, and that's what I try to do when I try to expand my genres and do more creative things visually and sonically and stuff like that. I always try to remain an elite lyricist and MC. So he's probably my top inspiration as far as that goes. And Michael Jackson, because I think he's the greatest. And as an entertainer, and I grew up on him. And I think sonically he's the greatest. So I think deceased Michael Jackson, alive Eminem. And Eminem's on the list. I will work with Eminem one day. Can't wait for it. I'll be ready.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that will be
And
sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
awesome answers. We can't wait to see. I can't wait to have you back to talk about where you've gone from this place forward. That's all the questions that I had. Debbie, did you have any other questions for Tier before
I
we
mean,
wrap up?
I know. I mean, we could keep going and going because he's has such a great layered, just story. So, but I think we should definitely, if Tierra will come back, have him back on again, because I would love to hear more about his current projects and all that. But no, all I can just say is, I know I keep laying on the compliments, but truly, you are an inspiration in every way. So, I mean, I feel that way after talking with you. So I really appreciate that you just took the time to meet with us.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Mm.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Derek.
absolutely. And I lied. I do have one more
It's
question for
okay.
somebody again. And right, we could go on, and that just
Yeah.
popped into my head. For our listeners who are interested in getting into the music or the acting or to do the things you do, what advice do you give to them, um, to try to break into that business or to reach those goals? Because you seem to have been doing it or continue to do it. What advice do you have for our listeners that are interested?
My advice for people who do music is to focus on the craft, to not worry about what's in and what's popular because everyone else is doing that. Everyone else is going for the viral moment, the catchy whatever that will be played out in a year or two. So just because it's cool right now, getting 1,000, 10,000 million views, don't necessarily go for that. Even if you're into it, even if that's what you want to do, inspired to do, you want to do that type of music, make your craft better. Focus on making it better than them. Don't do the same thing as them. So that's my advice to them is to always put the art first and everything else will fall to you. And as far as acting, I would say it's tough because not everywhere has I'm blessed because Boston isn't in New York, but we're close enough to New York where I work in New York a lot. So if you're not in a Atlanta or New York or LA, it might be tough to do it. So I would say, if you're in one of those areas, just start doing background work. That's how I started because then you meet more creative people, you meet other actors who'll be working on short films or sketches and stuff like that, and you can network that way. And if you're not in those areas, you're in like Kentucky or something, there's not a film thing, just start making your own content on YouTube. Get a couple friends because that's also what I did before I even did background work. I just started making sketches on YouTube and put myself on camera, and also make sure that is cool and good and presented in high quality and don't just put out some BS. You know what I mean? That's my advice for them.
That's great advice. Thank you so much. We were talking to Tierre Diaz. He is a remarkable young man, American actor, a musician, jack of all trades, and master of every single one of them. Thank you again so much for spending this time with us. And you are welcome back anytime you want to promote a project that you're on. Please, you can reach us. Have Heather reach us. Reach out to Debbie, myself. You can reach out to us as well, and we'll be more than happy to have you back on and to promote it. So thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Maniflex out now. You can get the CD at killertstore.bigcartel.com and it is streaming everywhere music is played. Thank you guys.
We'll
Thank
have all that
you.
information in the show notes too. People can click on that, but definitely go pick it up. You will absolutely love it. It's a wonderful record. All righty, Debbie and I are going to do a quick wrap. If you have a minute to hang on, and we'll kind of wrap things up. Um,
Cool.
that was great. I hope you comfortable. You seemed very comfortable, and I didn't make a fool out of myself, so I don't think anyway. I tend to when I'm not all that familiar, but I did quite a bit of research.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Debbie, what a remarkable guest Tier was. Thank you so much for suggesting we have him on. It was amazing. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I was reading a lot and go, wow, this guy's like busy. How did he manage to do all of this stuff? And he just does it, and everything he does is amazing.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, I knew that he would be great for the show, and I was just, hoping we could and touch upon as much as we could with everything that he does. But we got that and more. So I'm really glad we finally got to meet with him.
Yeah, it's me as well. And we found out, before we started, we don't live too far from him, so perhaps
Oh yeah, well, you don't live too
we
far
can,
from him.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're all kind of close. So maybe we can connect up and have a cup of coffee or something sometime in the future. I'd love to
You got a
make it
star right there
make
in
his
Wakefield, and you
acquaintance.
didn't even know.
Yeah, didn't even know. Didn't even know. So there's two stars in Wakefield. No, just
Oh, yes, oh, of course, the podcast star.
uh, So he doesn't have the ego. I have the ego, right? You give me one background role in the movie, and I'm a star. No, anyway, it was great. So thank you for that suggestion.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no, I'm happy to, and thank you to my friend and coworker Heather, so for helping make that
Yes,
connection.
yes,
Yeah,
it was nice to wave to Heather there in the background at
yeah.
the beginning. Um, so coming up, we've got some more interesting guests coming up in the future,
Hmm.
folks. If you would like to be on the show, and or you know of somebody who would be a great guest, please let us know. I don't think I give out the email address enough. It's it is what the hell is our email address?
Jerry, that's you. You're the one that gets the emails.
It's
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 another Sunday podcast at
it's another
Gmail.
Sunday podcast at gmail.com.
There
Thank
we
you.
go.
It's another Sunday podcast at gmail.com. Please send us your suggestions, your comments, on any of our episodes. We want to welcome the newest country that has joined us, to our folks who are in Portugal. We have
Portugal,
we
very
have
nice. Okay.
brand new listeners in Portugal. So thank you so much for joining it and listening
And that's
to
country number
54.
54.
54.
Well, welcome, Portugal. Thank you for everybody who listens. We really appreciate it.
It is certainly appreciated, and we'd love to hear from you, and please send us an email. It's another Sunday podcast at gmail.com, and we would love to have you on the show. And we can talk about your country and maybe what you guys do and all that stuff. So, and I can hear in the background the music is playing us out. So I guess that's going to end our show for today, Debbie. Thank you. It's great to see you again.
Great
Can't
to see
wait
you
to
too.
can't wait to talk. We'll be talking. It's Heather in the background. We'll be talking. We'll be talking in the future about the summer concert series coming to the
Hmm.
Stoneham area here in
Yep.
Massachusetts. So be on the lookout for that.
All
So
right.
until next time, have a great rest of your day, week, month, night, whatever it may be, wherever you're listening. Debbie, thanks so much.
Thank you too, Jerry.
It's another Sunday podcast. It's produced by Debbie, and once in a while, Jerry gets involved. With special thanks to our guest Tierre Diaz for joining us today. You can check out all of his information, social media, the new album. Everything is linked in the show notes of this episode. Until next time, thanks for listening.